Now, your outdoor furniture spends a lot of time outside in the elements. It can start to weather and look a little bit tired over time. So I'll show you how to bring it back to its former glory, easy as. Now, depending on what your outdoor furniture is made from will dictate exactly what product you use. Now, in my situation, I have a timber table setting, so I'm going to be using the hardwood and teak range. But it's also really important to clean and maintain your fabric, wicker, stone and composite outdoor furniture. So make sure you grab the product to suit and follow the instructions on the back. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is give the table a good wet down. I'm just about ready to rip into it. I've got my gloves on, got some eye protection, so I'm just going to put some polythene down to protect my work area. So I've got my teak cleaner here. I've given that a good shake. So all I've got to do is work this into the timber and I'm going to let that soak in for about 3 minutes. Now, if you're working in an area that's pretty sunny, you might want to move your furniture or whatever you're doing into a shady area because you don't want this to dry as you're putting it on. Now, you just want to make sure you just work it into all the little spaces on your furniture that you're doing. So that's looking good. I'm just going to let that soak in for about 3 minutes, come back for the next stage. I'm just about ready to start cleaning the table down now. There's a couple of different things you can use to clean it. One is a scrubbing pad. The other one is a soft bristle brush. Now, I'm going to use this one because this is going to get a lot of our dirt off. And then if I find I want to give it a nice clean down after that, I'm going to use our scrubbing pad. What I'm going to do is just work my way onto that, continuously dipping my brush into some water, and just make sure you're always working in the direction of the grain. And you can see straight away I've only been on that table for about 5 seconds and that is already starting to look like new. When you're all done, give the table a good rinse down and leave it to dry. Okay, table is looking absolutely fantastic. It's all nice and dry, ready for me to give it a sand. So I've got some 180 grit sandpaper, cork sanding block. So I'll give it a light sand in the direction of the grain, then dust it down with a clean paintbrush or cloth. Next stage is putting on my teak protector. Now I'm going to start on the back inside leg just to make sure that I'm happy with the colour. Now before I put any of this on, I'm just going to give that a really good shake for about a minute to make sure it all mixes up really, really well. Okay, so I'm just applying this with a dust-free cloth, and my particular colour is a honey brown, which is very, very similar to what it was before. So at this stage, I think I'm pretty darn happy with that colour. Okay, so what we're going to do is actually apply just quite a thin layer because we will be putting a second layer on. Now, let's just work that into the timber, and we're going with the grain once again. Make sure you try and get it into all the little gaps as you can. Okay, so that's looking superb. I'm going to let that dry for half an hour, then apply my second coat. Okay, that's been 30 minutes, time to apply our second coat. Now, don't forget to give your bottle a good shake up. It has been sitting around for a little bit now. Aim to clean your outdoor furniture once a year to keep it looking great for longer. Once your second coat of protector is completely dry, you can also add a thin coat of teak shield to act as a barrier against future stains. Okay, the same thing applies when we're removing stains from fabric. We want to give the area a good wet down. Now I'm just going to apply my fabric cleaner, and we're just going to let that soak in for about 3 to 10 minutes, depending on how severe your stain is. If you're worried about the colour fastness of your fabric, test the cleaner on the back of a cushion first. Okay, it's been around about 7-8 minutes, so I'm ready to remove the stain. I'm going to use a soft sponge. If you've got a particularly stubborn sort of stain, you could use the scouring side of your pad. Now, all I'm going to do is just rub that off, and then use our water to rinse it away. Okay, that's looking really good. My stain's gone. Now I'm just going to let that dry, and if you still have some remains of a stain there, you may just want to repeat the process. When it's nice and dry, spray the fabric with protector to help repel water and dirt, then leave it to dry and it's job done. Look at that, that's as good as new. Now it's ready for outdoor entertaining. And you know what? It really was easy as. And if you like what you've seen, subscribe to the Mitre YouTube channel for more handy content, or click here to watch some now.